Good afternoon. A warm welcome to all the participants and the advisors team of ThickNess Learning Community. We, ThickNess Learning Community, are happy to have you here for the international webinar on artificial intelligence versus human emotions. We would like to mention that we have got 300 plus registrations across India and overseas. We, the ThickNess Learning Community, is a new online startup zeroing in on sharing the knowledge through collaborative studies by organizing the expertise and professional talk, inspiring and motivating young minds towards the entrepreneurial leadership vision through various programs and accelerating women empowerment that commits the scale up to the quality of their life. Our upcoming webinars are Big Data, Trends and Opportunities, Entrepreneurship Journey, What to Do and What Not to Do, Need of Cloud Service, Computing in Software Industry, Life, a Chance or a Choice, etc. Once again, I'd like to welcome you all. Over to Ms. Anupriya Ilango.
Hello everyone, I'm here to give an introduction for Cam. So Cam Meng received the bachelor degree in 2010 and the PhD degree in 2015 from University Technology Malaysia. He is currently a senior lecturer with Tunku Abdul Rahman University College in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. He is promoted to IEEE senior member in 2020 and he is presently active in IEEE Computational Intelligence Society as an executive committee member. His current research interests include computer vision and recognition, artificial intelligence, and emotional information processing. His passion is to lead youngsters to the road of science and engineering. His hobby is also photography. So welcome Cam to the session. Over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the introduction. Can you hear me? Is everyone able to hear me? Okay.
Yes, Cam.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, ThickNess Learning Community, to invite me to share my little knowledge here. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself first. I'm Dr. Goh Kam Meng, and I'm from Malaysia. Okay, once again, thank you, ThickNess Learning Community, to invite me to share my little knowledge here. So before I proceed, let me share my screen right now. Okay, so before I proceed to the real lecture or knowledge sharing, let me have a disclaimer here. So all the pictures, all the contents, all the data shown in these presentations are specially for the educational purpose only, and is for the non-commercial purpose, and any similarity is merely coincidence. And today I would like to have the topic of artificial intelligence, AI versus human emotions. So before I proceed to my real lecture, let me introduce myself. Okay, even though I look so young, yes, some of you may think that I'm only 20 something. Some of you may think that I'm just a little student, maybe a college student. But in fact, I'm a Dr. Goh Kam Meng. Yes, I'm currently working as a senior lecturer in Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. And my expertise is image processing, computer vision, and machine learning. So as I mentioned just now, as the host mentioned just now, I'm one of the senior member of the IEEE, and I'm also the member of IET and member of the AMPPS. Okay. So before I proceed, let me have some adjustment here first, because I would like to see your comments also at the middle. Okay. So before I proceed, I would like to have some interaction with you guys. Okay. So right now we got two items here. Can anyone tell me what is this? Anyone? If you have an answer, please type a comment in the chat box. Anyone? Okay, let's see. What is the left-hand side one? Anyone know what is this? Hello? Okay, I believe everyone knows that this is a mop, right? So for the left-hand side one, then for the right-hand side one, what is that? Any answer from you guys? Yep, the D-mop, something like this. Any other answer? Any guess? Maybe the picture is not that big. Let me zoom it. Okay, we can know that the left-hand side is a mop and the right-hand side is also a mob. So this is a common knowledge. I believe everyone knows that. So this is the answer. Both of them are also a mob. Just that one is a clean mob, one is a dirty mob. But what about these three items? Can anyone tell me? So maybe let's start from this one first, the biggest one. What is this? Can anyone tell me what is this? This thing. Anyone knows? Okay, we can see there are three circles here, but we have no idea what is it. Maybe you know. If you have no anything, then you can share your idea here. Yep, about. Then some of you say a cup. A bowl from different size. Okay, thank you for the answer. Okay, this thing is a big bowl. I believe everyone agree, right? This is a big bowl. What about this? This thing, smaller size. What is this? Anyone? A cup. Quite close. I won't say that it's a cup. Actually, it's a plastic box, but it's a circle shape. Okay, what about this item? Anyone know? Any idea? Okay, some of you may think that it's a cup. Any other answer? Okay, a roll of tape. Yeah, thank you for the TLC for the answer. Okay, we can see that there are three items. This thing is a bowl. This thing is a plastic box, but it's a round shape. But this is a tape. Okay, compared to these two types, what can you see? Anyone can give me an idea? Okay, what can you see from this and this? What are the difference? Any idea? Okay, does these two things look the same or looks different? How many of you think these two things are the same thing? Or we know that these two are the different looks, right? You see all the textile here are in the white color, but all the fabric here in the yellow color. But both of them are the mob. But compared to the other picture that I showed you just now, these three items, okay, you see that this is a rice bowl. This is a plastic box in the circle shape. And this is a tape. Three of the objects here share the similarity. Three of them are in the circle shape, in the round shape. But these three things are in totally different items. Okay? But how does it relate to our talk today? So let me proceed. Okay. Throughout our life, when we see the item, then we use our brain to process it, right? For example, just now, when you look at the picture, there are three circles there. Then we look at the eye, we look at it. We're using our eye to look at it. But we use our brain to process it. We try to think, what are the things? What are the difference? Do they share the similarity? Or three of the items are the same object? Okay? So in our experience, in our daily life, okay, when we are young, when we start approaching the world, okay, we start to look at the different item, okay? We know what is the bowl, we know what's a cup, we know what's a mop, or even the animal, okay? We know an animal, we know a dog. How does a dog look like? Okay, he had the ears, 2 ears, 1 nose, then a small shape, 4 legs. This is the cat, or this is the dog, okay? We use our eye to see the world, then we learn it, okay? We use our brain to process it, to understand what is it. But right now, okay, we are in the digital world right now. I believe everyone still agree, right? So I believe everyone is holding a handphone right now. You go to everywhere. Okay, before you eat, you take out your handphone to snap a picture of your food first. Okay, this is I think a common practice nowadays. Instead of playing, you use a handphone to take a picture. Okay, and right now we can see that cameras are everywhere. Then we also can see that smartphone, tablet, they are everywhere. Right now, we use our camera and we use our tablet to see the world right now. Do you agree with me? Okay. But other than taking the picture, what can we do with all the pictures? Does picture means anything to us? Okay, this is a thing that we are going to talk about. Okay. So imagine if we have a picture, we want a computer to understand what is the picture about. But how does it work? So we compare side by side. In a human being, okay, we use our eye to see the world. You agree, I agree. Then we use our brain to process it. Then what about the machine? Imagine if you are using a smartphone, okay, you take a picture and then you put inside the computer. Then your computer help you to process it, okay? Then the processing is the AI. Right now, everyone is talking about the artificial intelligence, but how does it work? So normally, when we're taking a lot of the pictures, we put inside the computers, then we use a computer to do some analysis. That's where the AI comes to our daily life. But when we talk about AI, what do you think? Okay. What is the first thing that you would think when you talk about AI? Any idea? Anyone? When you talk about AI, what do you think in your mind? What is the first thing? Yep, any idea?
Cam, sorry to interrupt you. Could you please go to the slideshow mode?
Slideshow mode?
Yeah.
Which one? Should I zoom it?
F5, please. Yeah. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you talk about AI, what do you think? Anyone knows? Any idea? Okay, this is just a sharing session, nothing right or wrong. When you talk about AI, what do you think? So maybe you would think something like this. Okay, some of you may think that, okay, maybe in the AI, there will be a robot. Okay, the robot that can help us in our daily life. Maybe in the future, you can see all the servants are in the robotic. Then they have their own mind inside their thing, their robot, their processing power. Then they may serve us. They can help us to do any other things that we cannot do. But some of you may have think that there are some bad robots. How many of you that if AI can conquer our world? I believe some of you may watch a lot of the science fiction movies. Then you can see that there are some bad robots coming back to kill us because they are going to rule our world. Okay, this is because we watch a lot of the Hollywood movie. Okay, some of you may think that there are some good robots, but some of you may think that there's a bad robot coming back to us. But in the actual world, what does the AI going? Is AI going to kill us, or is AI going to help us? Okay, this is a good question to think about. Okay, before I go deep into this, let's proceed first. Okay, before we proceed to the AI, let us study what is the artificial intelligence. So when we talk about the artificial, we know that there's a human made. Everything are coming from the stimulation. Okay, but when we talk about the intelligence is the ability to learn about the new knowledge and the skill. I believe every human have their own intelligence. We have the ability to learn something. Okay, when we look at something, we try to learn how to operate it. For example, when we have a laptop, we start to learn how to operate it, how to open the computer, how to type a word, how to send a message to your friends. Okay, when we have a car, we try to learn how to operate it. How can we use it to fetch us from one spot to another spot? Okay, this is the human intelligence. So by integrating artificial intelligence, these two things, we are going to learn about how the machine perform the task by stimulating how humans think. So it is just a very big field for a machine to perform a task by learning how the human think. So in the layman terms, we are trying to put a brain inside the computer. Okay. By integrating computer vision and the artificial intelligence, we are going to teach the computer to see the world. Okay, remember, computer vision is all about the pictures. How are we going to take the pictures? Then after the pictures, how are we going to process the picture to make the picture more interpretable? So after it, we are going to use the artificial intelligence to analyze what is the picture about. Can it give us some clue about this? What's the picture content? What's the human in the picture doing that right now? Okay, so, but how the human or the computer learn? So let's see the pipeline here. You can see that. Let's see the left-hand side first. For the human being, how can we learn? So imagine that after you're born, then when you first approach a new world, you learn, you see a lot of the item here. So maybe when you're 3 or 4 years old, you can see a lot of the dog picture or the cat pictures. Then you might wonder, hey, what is it? How can it run so fast? What is the thing about? Okay. Then your parents may have teach you how to differentiate cats and dogs. Maybe for the cat, he have a smaller mouth. Okay. Maybe for a dog, he's more naughty. He can run faster than a cat. Or you learn how to differentiate by yourself. Okay, you can see that. One way to learn is your parents teach you how to differentiate cats and dogs. Another way is you learn yourself how to differentiate by yourself. For example, okay, you try to see a lot of the different type of dog. Okay, you learn about the commonality between all the dogs. Okay, after you're going through all the process, you learn what is dog and what is cat. After you see through a lot of the dogs and cats, then you start learning from your parents or from yourself. But what about the computer? Basically, computer also share the same theory. Okay, at first, if you want the computer to learn what is the cats and dogs, at first, you need to give in a lot of the picture of the cats and dogs, okay, with a label. Okay, you tell him from the picture 1 to picture 10, there's dogs. From the picture 11 to picture 20, there's a cat. And there are 2 ways for the computer to learn how to differentiate dogs and cats. The first way is you tell it all the mathematical equation to differentiate the dogs. For example, if you want the computer to understand how does the shape of the dog, okay, then you tell him, you derive a mathematical equation to tell him, okay, you use the equation A to understand there's a dog, equation B to understand what's a cat. But for the next one, okay, it learned how to differentiate itself using the deep learning. Okay, right now we start talking about the deep learning. Okay, so deep learning, how does it work? So basically, you don't have to do anything. You need to pass him a lot of the dogs and cats pictures. Then you tell him, okay, picture 1 to picture 10, there's a dog. Picture 11 to picture 20, there's a cat. You learn it from yourself. Then you tell me what's the difference. Okay, so this is how the computer works. Eventually, the computer will learn it. So we compare share parallelly. In the human being, your parents teach you how to differentiate. In the computer, you are the one to teach him how to differentiate. Okay, then the other way around. In the human being, you learn by yourself by differentiate by yourself. Computer, using the deep learning, it can learn itself by differentiating the properties or the characteristic of the dogs and cat. So you can see that both have the same pipeline. Then in this way, this is the conventional way in the artificial intelligence. Okay, before we talk about the artificial intelligence, there's one way we call it as a machine learning. Okay, machine learning, you need to have a supervised learning or the unsupervised learning. In the supervised learning, you teach him all the mathematical equation to tell him what's a dog and what's a cat. Then the modern way is the deep learning. Okay, and this is the current latest trend. I believe most of you may have heard it before. Okay, basically you just need to feed the data, then he will learn what is it about. Then before we proceed, let us learn about the conventional way first. Okay, conventional way in the machine learning. For example, at first you take a picture, then you try to enhance the picture to make the picture more interpretable. And then you select the important information. For example, the shape of the dog, maybe the color of the dog, the pattern, the point, the line, the shape, whatsoever, important point. Then you do the training at the analysis. That one we call it as a classification and the learning process. Eventually, he will tell you what's the output. So the way here, from here to here, is the process that you teach the computer how to think. Okay, so let's go for some example. This is the mob that we have shown just now. So if we are using the conventional way to teach the computer to recognize this thing, but how does it work? So at first, we know that this thing has a triangle shape, okay? Then we got a lot of the texture here. We use the line to represent it. Then last but not least, we also have the stick over here. The stick apparently is in the lesser rectangular shape, okay? Then we try to extract the information. For example, we got a white color. We got a triangle and the line. Then we got a texture. You see all the texture here in the white color. Then we also got a stick in the rectangular shape. Okay, we use all the information, then we put inside the computer. Then we need to differentiate the thing by using the different equation. For example, for the white color, what's the equation to get the white color? Equation to extract the triangle, equation for the texture, for the stick, or for the shape. But then we put this thing inside the computer. Then the computer will learn that how does the mob looks like. But this thing we call it as a feature extraction. Okay, and this process we call it as a classification. And this is under the machine learning. But what about this? Okay, right now we no longer can see a triangle shape. We only can see the texture. Okay, many lines here. Then we only can see the white color. And we no longer can see the stick. Okay, just now we are still able to see a stick. If we need to teach the computer this is a mob again, compared to the picture just now, we need to teach him another way of learning this mob. Okay, we need to do, okay, a lot of the texture and the white color, or maybe all the line or all the edge only. There's the information that we can get in this picture. That's it only. But what about this? This is also a mob. But right now, we no longer can see a line. And this is in the white color right now. Okay, you see apparently this is something like a junk food or a tidbits. Okay, it doesn't look like a mob, but in fact it's a mob. Okay, then the shape is something like this. All are the rectangular shape, and this is in the yellow color. But let's say if originally you use the first picture, this picture, to teach him. This is a picture to teach him. This is the mock look like. But when you put this picture to the computer, you will confuse the computer. The computer doesn't know what is it. Because originally you tell him that, okay, in the mob, there's a stick, there's a triangle shape, there's a white color. But these two things, it doesn't look like a mob. Your computer may get confused. Okay. All these are mobs, but you can see that all the shapes are totally different. You see, this thing got a stick, got a texture, triangle shape. But this thing, if you don't know, it just looks like a noodle. Okay. Then this is sort of mob. Then this is the other way around. This is the lower triangle, this is the upper triangle. Completely different. Then this is in the yellow shape. Then the stick also in the yellow shape. And this thing is worse. We don't even know what is this. If you put every picture here in the computer, he will try to stop bullying me. Okay. Okay. More challenging. All these three things. All three are the circle item. But when you put the computer, all circles, your computer may ask, what are the difference? Then if you tell the computer this is a bowl, this is a box, this is a tape, your computer confirm there will be a confusion. Okay, this is the conventional way of doing the machine learning or the AI. So right now, conventional way, this is all the low-level feature We call it as a low-level feature because you extract the shape, color, point, edge, line, texture, wavelet, or whatsoever. Then we extract the different algorithm. This is the conventional way. The trend now, people are using deep learning to solve the everything. Deep learning also called as a convolutional neural network. I believe you have it before. So what you have to do is, you just need a bunch of the picture. The more the better. Imagine that if you want to teach a computer to understand what's a mob, you put 10,000 pictures of a mob. Okay. Then you also put the label. Okay. You tell him all these things are mobs. Then put inside deep learning. Then deep learning, it will extract the feature automatically. Then it will learn itself. Okay. So that's why eventually the computer can understand what is it by using the deep learning. He can understand what's the mob, then what's the bow, box, all things are very easy peasy for him only. Okay. So all you need is a lot of the image without with the labels. And as you know that data is the most important item in the world right now. Okay, let me have a demonstration to you. Okay, this code is provided by the Miss Alina. Okay, thank you for the providing her code as a demonstration. So this is for the object detection, then the object recognition. So let me have a demonstration to you right now. Okay, let me copy this. Oh, error. Wait, let me stop sharing first. Okay. So this is object recognition. Are you able to share the screen? Okay, you can see that it can recognize me. Okay, I'm the person. Then if I take another item here, this is the border. But sometimes it also mistakenly saying that it's a chair because he learned too much about the chair. Then maybe I use another item. So it can also recognize that this is a border everywhere. Then maybe I put a tablet. Let's see. So it think that this is a TV monitor somehow. Okay, maybe I try to recognize this. Okay, this is me. Okay, you can see that the up here is somehow recognized as a TV monitor, and inside here is a person. Maybe I try this. Okay, and detect. Okay, it somehow detect that it's a dining table. Maybe it's not that obvious. Let me try another example. Okay, a picture here. So since he liked the chair so much, so I give you a picture of a chair. Okay, see? You see that there's a percentage on the top, means there's the 50% accuracy of the chair. Or maybe this is a chair also. Okay, so this one was an example for the object recognition. So let me stop the program first. Okay, let me get back to the slide. Okay, if you are interested in this thing, you can scan for this QR code for the code. You can just download and play around with it. Okay, so just now we talked about the computer vision and the AI application. So basically it can apply in many different applications. But what about the emotion? AI can make our life easier right now, but does it have an emotion? Actually, there's no emotion here. It does not have an emotion, but it can help us to understand what is our emotion. So there are 6 basic emotions. Okay, this is me, my handsome face. Okay, we can know that this person is smiling. This is a happy face. Then this is obviously a sad face. Then angry face. This is somehow disgusting. This is a surprise face. The last one is the neutral face. Okay, this is our 6 basic emotion. Then some of the emotion may have the same commonality. For example, this, you see that my eyebrow, this is a sad face, this is an angry face. both eyebrows are moving. Then both wrinkles here are also moving. Then for this, you see there's a wrinkle here. Then the mouth. Okay, this share the commonality with the smile. Okay, the disgusting, but you see the mouth is moving here. Okay, so these are the 6 basic emotions that we have in our every human. Okay, all of us have the same emotion. Okay, wait. But how are we going to understand the emotion? So for the emotion, at first, we need to see how does our eyebrow move. Then how does our eye move? Then is our mouth moving? And then is there a wrinkle when we are smiling or when we feel a surprise? This is how we understand the emotion, how human beings understand the emotion. But how does the machine understand the emotion? Same thing just now, we got the low-level feature using different algorithm or using the high-level feature using the deep learning. Okay, we come back to the deep learning again. So conventional way in the machine learning, first we take a picture, then we extract our face from the video, from the pictures. Then we select the important information using all the mathematics. Then we use the training and analysis, also the machine learning here, AI here. Then we get the output. Okay, and this is also the way we teach the computer how to think about our emotion. Okay, but what about deep learning base? So for the deep learning base, same thing. We put all the pictures here, thousands of pictures, 1,000 pictures of the happy face, 1,000 pictures of the sad face. Then we label it. Okay, we tell him that this is the happy. Sorry. Okay, this is a happy face, sad face, angry, disgust, surprise, or the neutral face. We tell the computer, we give them different of the example to tell him how does the emotion looks like. And then we put inside our deep learning neural network. Then the feature will be extracted automatically. And then another demonstration. Okay, this code is provided by the Mr. Omar Ayman, and I would like to thank him for sharing his code. So if you're interested, you can share for the source. So this is a code for understanding our emotion. So basically, it's also using the deep learning to detect our emotion. So I would like to stop the video, then see it. Okay, this is a neutral face. Then I happy, sad face. Okay, sad face is a little bit hard. Surprise. Oh, he tell me it has scared face. Angry. Okay. Disgust. Okay, I cannot make a disgust. Okay, because I don't know how to make a disgust face for now. Okay, happy face. Happy is the easiest one. Happy. Scared. Okay. Angry. Angry is quite easy. Surprise. Surprise cannot. Okay. So let me stop the video here. Stop it. Close it. Great. Okay, stop the video. Okay. So just now we talked about the emotion. You can see that the video. Okay, I can pretend I'm a happy face. Okay, I can smile. Then I also can pretend an angry face. But what if someone is faking the emotion? Are we able to detect the real emotion inside the human? Okay, so that's why we come to one thing. Okay, this is me. Can anyone tell me what is the common emotion between these two pictures? Anyone? Open for discussion. Okay, can anyone share his idea? There's the emotion. What's the emotion for this and what's the emotion for this picture? Any idea? Anyone? Okay, how many of you think that this is a happy face? I believe most of you think that this is happy. Okay, Dr. KS say that this is a sad face. How many of you think that this is a sad face? Anyone? No? Okay. Wait, I see something just now. Okay. Set or down? Okay, Miss Nimala says it's a neutral face. Okay, actually, both of these are happy face. How does I say so? Later, I will show you a video to see that how is this considered as a happy face. By looking at the right-hand side picture, we barely can see the emotion. But if we look through the video, you can see there's the emotion. Okay, the emotion, we call it as a micro expression. What is the micro expression? So micro expression, it happened very fast. And it happened involuntary, which means that you cannot control it. For example, when you see something, it makes you happy. Then there's a very fast second, your face will reveal your emotion. Maybe it will reveal a smile, but you cannot control it. And actually, you are going to try to hide your emotion, but you cannot. And it's very subtle until you cannot see it. So, and also it occur in a very high speed, in between 1/15 or 1/25 frames per second. You may not know that what is the micro emotion, but let me show you another video here. Okay, right now I'm going to play this video. Try to observe any movement in my face. Okay, can anyone see? Anyone? I play again. Okay, you see, notice my mouth somewhere around here. Can you see that? There's a very fast movement on my mouth. Are you able to see that? Okay, I try to replay again. Notice on my mouth. Okay, you see there's a very fast movement. That is the micro emotion. Okay, this thing is considered an easy one. But what about the next one? Okay, let's try to see this. Okay, can anyone see the emotion here? Anyone? Okay, I try to replay again. If you found something, try to let me know if there's any movement on my face other than the eye blinking or something. Okay, can we replay this again? Okay, anyone seen anything? Yep, looking like a smile. Try to notice at this part later. This part. You see there's a very small movement here. That is the micro emotion. And how does I take this picture? I take this video by watching a American comedy series. And it's a funny series and try to control my smile, try to control my emotion. But eventually, some of the emotion, I cannot control it. Okay, that's the micro expression. Okay, let me proceed to the next slide. Okay, so micro emotion, they also basically have all the 6 basic emotion, but it's way too subtle. You also can see that the mouth here is moving. The eyebrow sometimes moving, or maybe there's a little movement at the chink here, but it's a much subtle until your eye cannot see. Then, macro emotion, it happens slowly. People can pretend it's the motion, and it cannot reveal your actual emotion. Maybe you are happy, but you can pretend you are sad. Maybe you are very sad, but you can pretend to be a happy face. And it can be easily detected. But the micro emotion, it happens very fast. You already seen the 2 videos just now. You cannot pretend it. When I take the picture, I try to control my emotion, but eventually I cannot control it because it happened very fast. It happened involuntarily. And it can reveal the actual emotion and it cannot be easily detected. Okay? So, what's the problem? Okay, this is the neutral face. This is the face with the smile here just now. We can hardly see the difference. Okay, we eventually cannot see any difference between these two faces unless a video. By using a naked eye in the industry right now, people, there are only 47% can understand the real emotion by looking at the micro expression. So that's why people try to use the computer to help them to analyze the real emotion. So in the 2018, we propose a method, we call it as a central symmetric local map pattern. So it's a conventional way of the machine learning. We are trying to use some mathematical equation to understand what's the real emotion behind the face. So at first, we try to difference the face. We try to use the frame with the smile and frame with a neutral face. So that's the difference. Then we use some mathematical operation. We try to extract the CSLMP, the central symmetric local map pattern. Then we put inside the computer to determine whether the happy face or a sad face. And the accuracy is about 80% under the control environment. And the paper is already published in the International Conference on the Machine Vision. If you're interested, you can go to have a look on this. Okay. So, but what's the limitation of the current research in the micro expression? So, low accuracy. People can attain at the 80% only, and not even 90%. It's still considered low accuracy. Data is insufficient. Okay, we don't have enough data to teach the computer to understand our real emotion. So that's why in the scientists, everyone is trying to collect as many as data that they could. Then you need a high-speed camera. Okay, you need a very, very high-speed camera, maybe 200 frames per second to record our face, then get our emotion. And it cannot be used in the natural world. The picture that I took just now is in the control environment. All the lighting, all the shadow are gone. Lighting is sufficient. Okay, but what about if we put the camera in the outside? Are they still able to detect the micro emotion? We don't know yet, and still cannot. And it cannot be implemented in the real time. Okay, since it cannot be used in the natural world yet, and it also cannot be implemented in the real world right now. But if this thing is success, where can we implement the micro emotion recognition? What about the psychology and counseling? Can we help the psychologist and the counselor to understand the emotion of the patient? Yes, it could. What the police investigation? If there's a criminal case, can we use this thing as a lie detector? Maybe. Oh, these two things are the customer service satisfaction. Sorry for the redundancy. Can we understand the customer service? Okay, can we understand how does the customer feel like? Okay, maybe he feel happy after using a service. Maybe he feel not satisfied with your service. Okay, you can use your MD recognition to help you to recognize it. But what about the privacy issue? Will there be any privacy issue? Can we use the ME application on anywhere? Do we still need to get the consent from the author first? Okay, when we are developing this thing, we still need to think about what is the privacy. Are we going to include the privacy of the other human? Do they have their human right? This is the thing that we need to think about. Okay, as a conclusion, AI is the latest trend right now. We all know that. But it's still very hard for it to understand our real emotion. Then micro emotion recognition is still a very long way to go. I believe that. So please join this research if you are interested. If you are interested, you can try to start to collect your data and then try to understand it. Then try to learn the deep learning to tackle this problem. Okay, so this is the conclusion of my presentation today. So any question? Okay, open for Q&A.
Yes, so thank you, Cam. That was a very interesting session. So participants can go ahead and post your queries in the chat box.
Yes.
I do
Any
understand
question?
that many of you have a lot of questions because it was quite interesting. So
Okay.
please do not hesitate to ask any questions. Let's go ahead.
Okay, here's a question.
Yes,
What's
yeah, we
the
have a
biggest
question.
challenge in the deep learning? So this deep learning is depending on the application. I would say that if for the first thing, if we are going to do the object detection, right now you can see that a lot of the data can be obtained easily. For example, the object detection. You can see many metadata available online. So, but what about the micro expression? Data is not sufficient. And one thing good to know that deep learning, people tend to use the deep learning as a black box. We don't know what is it going inside there. We just throw everything inside there, then let him to understand. But we don't even know that which feature is the most important. So people right now are changing the direction to the explainable AI. Explainable AI, they are trying to understand that, okay, this AI, this network, he gives me the best accuracy. But I want to understand that in his network, which of the feature will play the biggest part? This is the important thing. And this explainable AI is the current trend right now, and is still a very good challenge. So there's an explainable AI part. But back to some small application, for example, like I mentioned just now, micro emotion. Not many people doing this. This is a very, very challenging part for deep learning. So for deep learning, at first you need a data. Image data is very important. If you want your deep learning to be good, to be well established, please give him a good data, good and solid data. Okay. Okay. Which area of emotion is currently under research? Why micro is still not in processing? Okay. As I mentioned just now, micro emotion compared to the macro emotion you can say everywhere. People can get about 90 or 98% accuracy for the macro emotion. But the micro emotion is still not in processing. As I mentioned just now, data not enough, very hard to get the data. Okay, if you don't have a sufficient data, if you feed your network, it won't work in a very good condition. So that's why micro expression is still not in the processing. But right now, people are already try to use the deep learning to tackle it. People also try to change the direction to spot the micro emotion instead of understand the emotion. Can AI work in the law subjects? Him, please. This is a very good question. To be frank, I'm not in the area of the law and in the area of the engineering. But sometimes in the law, in the court, you also need to consider the humanity, right? Okay, I don't know that. Okay, this is my personal opinion only. If I say something wrong, please correct me. Okay, I'm not sure how does AI can be applied in the law subject. Maybe it can help you to understand all the law. I don't know. Okay, sorry that maybe AI can help you to understand the court. Maybe it can give you a little suggestion of the judgment, perhaps. Okay, this is my small opinion only. Okay, any other question? Okay, Arun K, have I answered a question? Which area of the emotion is currently under research? I would say that the micro expression is still under the research. Okay, but the publication or the research is still in the limited condition. If you want to tackle this, you can go ahead. Okay, you are encouraged to proceed with this direction. Okay, any other question?
Yeah, Cam, can you please go turn on your video, please?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Have I started my video?
We can't see you yet.
Because I could not turn on, I don't know why. Wait, let me have a look. Give me a moment, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Is it possible to find the COVID-19 patient using emotion and deep learning? Okay, I have a student. She is currently doing the COVID-19 recognition using X-ray image and using the deep learning. Okay. But emotionally, unless you can detect that the person is in the sad phase or in the stress, okay, it can be part of the condition for the patient, maybe. But if you want to be more accurate, I would say that you go to the X-ray image will be more accurate. But somehow the X-ray image still cannot replace the real actual testing. The real actual testing will be more accurate compared to using the deep learning for the COVID-19 case checking. Okay, is it possible to recognize the emotion from the surveillance video? Yes, it's possible. Okay. Okay, the CSLMP actually involve a lot of the mathematical operation. If you are interested, maybe you try to email me. We will talk about it later. Okay. Okay. Mr. Manoj, anything you try to email me, I will talk to you later regarding to this. Okay, this emotion can be used in the forensic. Yes. Assuming the significant amount of data of the first available, do you think research micro is successful there? It will be successful in some day because our technology is getting more and more advanced. You see, even a handphone, it have a camera of 200 frames per second nowadays. Okay, if there's a significant amount of the data and the photo available, the research will be success. But it's still a long way to go. But because it's not that easy for you to induce the micro emotion. Okay, it's not easy. And sometimes you also need an expert for you to understand how does the micro emotion looks like. We cannot just simply say that, okay, I assume that this is the micro emotion happy. We need the psychiatrist or the psychologist to help us to understand, okay, this is the happy face, this is the sad face. So by assuming if the significant amount is there, so the research can be success, provided the data is sufficient. Right now, the biggest problem is the data is not sufficient. Okay, if you're interested, you can go ahead to get more data. For you to get more data, you can come to me. We have a discussion of it. Okay. So, any other question?
Yeah,
Yes.
Cam, we can wait another minute or so for any other questions. Otherwise, Shanti ma'am will take over the session.
Sure, no
Give us a
problem.
minute.
Okay. So I leave my email here. If you have anything, you can try to email me regarding to my research. I will leave in my chat box. Wait, I will write inside here.
Okay, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, all in the small capital.
All right. So participants, kindly notice email. If you have any questions, you can send an email to him.
It is my email. If you have any question, you can ask me later. Regarding to my CSLMP, we can discuss about it later.
All right, that's great. Okay. So we do not have any questions more. So over to you, Dr. Shanti, for a word of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Anu. A warm and wonderful afternoon to our most valued speaker and participants. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks speech and acknowledgement contribution on this wonderful occasion, international webinar on artificial intelligence versus human emotions. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to young and dynamic speaker of the day, Dr. Kam Meng, program leader, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Tunku Abdul Rahman University College, Malaysia. Despite his busy schedule, has found time to grace us with his wonderful lecture. Thank you, Gong.
Thank you, everyone.
I also express my heartfelt thanks to our advisors and Anupriya Ilango, Program Lead, Coherent Chennai, for their wonderful contribution, encouragement, guidance, and support. I'm also very grateful to our technical team for for all support and arrangement to make this webinar grand success, because we have received more than 300 registrations from various states of India and different parts of the world. So we are using 2 different platforms like Zoom and YouTube live streaming. I also express my special thanks to our sponsors, Unimax Technologies, Coimbatore, and RR Nuts, Chennai, who supported behind the success. Not the least, I would like to extend my resounding thanks to all participants of today's session. Without them, we can't execute the program a grand success. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your attention. So as I say, if you have anything, you can email me later.
Yeah,
Thank
please
you for the
wait
invitation.
a minute. Yes, Gang, wait a minute.